Right, okay, guys. So, according to a recent BBC report on HMV has recorded that they are selling more physical media. Their DVD and Blu-ray sales have gone up. And I think I might have an idea as to why this is happening. I mean, in fact, I have a few points. I think people are suddenly realising that streaming's not what it's cracked up to be. But anyway, let's look into it. So, my first point, advertising is appearing on streaming platforms. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I went on to streaming to get away from that. And now we're seeing it coming in, aren't we? Like, they've realised that they can't make money from the subscriptions alone. They have to put in adverts like the TV used to. I would have thought really this should have been obvious from the start, because why else would TV have done it? So they've brought in adverts. So of course now all us guys that went on there to get away from that are now going to be subject to this. Now, some channels did this from the start of their subscriptions. Like, for example, in the UK here, we've got ITVX, and that one incorporated adverts from the get-go, because as a whole, you can watch most stuff on there for free. So you don't complain because you're not paying for it. You can, of course, pay for a service where you don't get the adverts, so you do have the option. But the point is, this came out only a few years ago, and it was there from the start. So no one really had an issue with it. However, Netflix, for example, I do have an issue with that, because when I did first get that, it was a lot cheaper and there was no adverts. Over time, it's gone up in price and they've slapped adverts on it. So, and I'll be honest, I don't have most of these streaming platforms anymore. I got rid of them. There are other ways of watching this stuff. And if I'm also honest, there's also physical media, which of course is what I think people might be cottoning onto. You know, the fact that, well, I didn't have to pay this, or I didn't have to watch these annoying bloody adverts when I had a DVD of this, or when I had a Blu-ray of this. And so maybe people are reverting. Who knows? Point number 2. It's more expensive than buying a physical disc. Because, let's be honest, you need more than one streaming platform. Yes, you do. Because the licensing, you know, you could have, for example, Prime, but they don't hold the license for the film you want. So then you've got to get Netflix to watch it, or you've got to get, in America, there's Hulu, or maybe Disney Plus. You know, you have to get these different platforms to watch the film you want. Well, here's an idea. Go to HMV, buy the Blu-ray for, I don't know, $8.99 or whatever they're charging, or maybe check out a charity shop and pick it up for £1. You know, CX, you know, especially if it's DVD. Some cases you don't even pay £3 for it if it's on DVD. Point is, there's other options. They're cheaper. You've not got to hunt around. You don't have to keep paying out for all these streaming platforms. One payment, it's yours. You now have it. Problem solved. But of course, point number 3. They can take or change it anytime they want. You don't own them. That's true. And I've said this on my channel many times before. The reason I keep physical media, the reason why some of the films that I got rid of when I bought them digitally, I've now started reacquiring, is because they're altering these films. They are. If it doesn't stand to the current political climate, they will alter it. They will. And I've seen it happen. They'll cut bits out, or they'll change bits slightly. I've seen good examples of this. I've said this one many times. Eraser, for example. And the end of the film, when they drive the car onto the tracks with the bad guys in, and then he locks it and he walks away, and then the train hits it and it explodes. Well, in the version that was on streaming, they cut out the whole explosion thing. You just see him lock it, the train coming towards it, and then it cuts to Arnold and the woman and the chauffeur guy walking away. You know, it's like, okay, so we're meant to just imagine in our heads what happened. What was the problem with the explosion? Why did they take it out? No reason, really. They just did. However, I can go and buy that on disc and I don't have this problem. It's a complete version and I own it. And this, of course, goes back to something else that I've said on the channel many times before. I bought Halloween some time ago. Halloween just gone. I went to watch it with the family, went on there. When I went to find it, it had gone. I had no warning it had gone. I had no refund. It just disappeared because they no longer hold the license. Oh, cheers, mate. So I paid $8.99 for a film that now no longer is on there. and you didn't even have the decency to tell me. Thank you very much. Well, guess what? I will go and buy that disc now. I won't bother you again, no problem. I can save my money. Of course, the other thing is that it's cheaper if you buy it on the disc. Of course it is. Like, you could probably go and buy Halloween right now on DVD in, say, CX. I imagine you probably wouldn't pay much more than £2 or £3 for it. In fact, on Blu-ray, you could probably get it for that price. And that's second hand, of course, but, you know, and then it's yours. You've got it. It's not going anywhere. Whereas you look at the digital price for even old films on Amazon Prime, $8.99. I'm not paying $8.99 for a film that I could go and pay £2 or £3 for. Like, that's a Mickey take. Now, when Prime first started, the prices weren't that expensive. In fact, their subscription was even cheaper. So when you did get films on there, you used to be able to get some of the older ones for like $1.99 or $3.99. And the subscription, I think, if I remember right, when it first started, I'm sure it was $6.99. It's now $8.99 you pay now. So either way you look at it, the goalposts are moving. It's getting more expensive. So just buy the physical disc and then you own it. You pay for it once, that's it. Get rid of your subscription. It's just not worth it. I mean, that's the cheek anyway, right? You're paying for it and you're still having to pay for most films that you want to watch. Really, when you look at it, the only thing I'm really paying for it for now is the next day delivery. And I've got to be honest, that's getting really sloppy just of late. Some of that's not holding up either. And if that keeps on, I'll be getting rid of it full stop. Because I'm not paying for it if I don't get next day delivery. That's literally the only reason I've got it now. Right, and then my final point number 4. The other reason I think people are getting physical media is because of nutters like us on YouTube. You know, we keep telling you all the problems with streaming platforms. We also keep showing you what we're collecting and why we're collecting it. I mean, I'm even now collecting VHS, which was a rabbit hole I tried to stay out of for a very long time. But I've got to be honest, nostalgia, you know, it's a powerful drug and it bites you. And I'm now picking them up. But I am being very specific. In most cases, I'm only picking up stuff that didn't come out on disc. Or, for example, with the Star Wars films, the original trilogy, the unaltered versions. And it's so I can show my sons because A, they've never seen them versions, and B, they've never seen a VHS. Anyway, I digress here. The point of what I'm saying here is that nostalgia, like I say, is a powerful drug. And when you start showing these things on a YouTube video, someone else at the other end is watching you and they're like, oh, I remember that. And now nostalgia's got them and now they want it. And I'll be honest, I'm even guilty of this. I will watch other people's videos and when I see them show something, I'm like, oh, I want that. This is how it happens. You know, so I'm no fool. Obviously, to a certain degree, us guys on YouTube are influencing people, even if we don't mean to. So, again, you know, I think this is another reason we're seeing a change. But anyway, these are my thoughts. Maybe you have some I haven't thought of here. And if you have, let me know down below. Anyway, I'm going to end this one here, guys. I hope you've enjoyed it. And until next time, take care, stay safe. Nerdy Geezer out.